Okay, to begin our scarf, I'm going to be using a 5mm hook and 4-ply yarn. I'm using Bernat Satin, and it's 4-ply, medium. Okay, so it doesn't matter what yarn you use as a beginner, just something that you like. Okay, so to begin our scarf, I am going to start with a chain of 30s. So you need to make a loop like so. Just a simple loop like that. You put that on your hook. Secure it, but not too tight. And then, once again, you wrap the thread around your fingers like so. And hold it in place. Okay, so just like this. And you're going to chain 30 loose chains. Don't want to make them too tight, because then it's going to be hard to go into each chain space. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 21, 22, 23, 24, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Okay, so I have made 30 chains, because this is how wide I want my scarf. You can do your chains longer or shorter. It all depends on how wide you want your scarf to be. Okay, so what you want to do now is this scarf is gonna be worked in a double crochet stitch. So what you want to do is wrap your yarn around your hook once like this. Like this, and then you're going to skip the first chain, the second chain, then you're going to go into the third chain like this. Hook the thread, pull through one. You have 3 loops remaining on your hook. Hook the yarn, pull through 2 of those 3 loops, and hook the yarn again and pull through. And that's your first double crochet. If you haven't seen my how to do a double crochet video, you should check that out before you continue with the scarf. Okay, so you're going to do a double crochet in each of the chain all the way across until the end. Just 1 double crochet in each. Okay, so keep going all the way across. 1 double crochet in each chain space, and then I'll meet you at the end. Okay, so I've come to the last chain space, and I'm going to do 1 double crochet into that space to finish that round. Next I'm going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And then turn the work around, and we're going to begin the second row. This is where things get a little bit interesting, so pay attention. I'm going to wrap the yarn around the hook once, skip this first section, skip this first chain, this first chain space where we chained up 3, and we're going to go in the next chain. But what we're going to do is we're going to go in the back loop. If you turn your work on the side, like so, it will look like a braid. You have a front loop and you have a back loop. We will only be working in the back loops because we want to get a ribbed effect for our scarf. So you're going to be doing your double crochet just in that back loop. So just like this. You wrap your yarn around, going to just the back loop, hook the yarn, pull up, hook the yarn again, pull through 2, hook the yarn again, pull through the last 2. It looks a little bit loose right now, but that's what we're going for. So again, you wrap the yarn around, going to the back loop of the next stitch, hook the yarn, pull through, hook the yarn again, pull through 2 loops, hook the yarn, and pull through the last 2 loops. Okay, and just keep doing that all the way across, just in the back loops. We're only working in the back loop. This stitch that I'm doing, working in the back loops, it can also be done in the single crochet or half double crochet stitches if you want it tighter. I want my scarf to be very loose and very fluffy, so that is why I'm doing it in a double crochet stitch as opposed to half double crochet or single crochet. And I'm hoping that I won't need more than one ball of yarn, but we'll see when I get to the end of this. Okay, so if you see, I'm only working in the back loops, just the back loops. The front loop is still there. So you keep going all the way across, just in the back loop. If you're having a hard time getting to the back loop, just turn your work slightly towards you so you can see the 2 loops on top, and you're only picking up the back loop. You're doing your double crochet, or if you're trying this in half double crochet, you're only doing it in the back loops. Like I said, this will give us a nice ribbed effect to our scarf. Very simple pattern, but the outcome is very nice. Looks very nice when you're done. So I'm almost to the end of this row, and just a few more to go before I get to the end. Okay, so once you I have 2 more stitches. 1. Okay, for the last stitch now, I'm not going to go into the back loop of that one. I'm going to go into both loops. So I'm putting my needle from the front, and I'm going through both loops. And then I hook my thread at the back, pull it through those 2 loops, pull up, hook the yarn again, pull through 2 loops of the 3 that were on my hook, and then hook the yarn again and pull through the last 2. So all the stitches are worked in from the beginning. All the stitches are worked in a back loop all the way across until the last one. The last one I work through both loops. That's because I want on the ends, I want it to have some sort of security, like to be secured on the sides. Okay, so again, for the next row, you just chain 3, turn the work around, and again we're skipping this first stitch, and we're working in the back loop only of the next stitch. So that's the second stitch from where we chained up. So see, we chained up 3 right here. We don't work in this space. We move over to the second stitch, and we work in the back loop only. And that's our pattern. Just working in the back loop all the way across, double crochet. And that's going to be the pattern of our scarf. That's it. So once you've gotten to this part, just keep going, row by row by row. Keep going up, and at the end of it, you're going to have a very nice, fluffy, ribbed scarf. Okay, so I'm just going to show you one last time all the way across. Double crochet all the way across. And if I'm moving too fast for you, you need to watch the how to double crochet video that's on my channel, where I show you step by step how to do a double crochet. But this stitch is very simple, and if you make a mistake, all you gotta do is, say you make a mistake and you go through both loops, all you gotta do is undo it slowly. The loop will still be there. You just put it back on your needle and start again. We're just working in the back loops, so we're not touching that front loop at all in this project. Back loops only. Okay, so I'm almost at the end of this round, so just keep going. Okay, so you come to the last one and I have one stitch left. I'm just gonna go into the top of that chain 3 that's on this side and do my double crochet like so. Okay, so that's basically it. So once again, to begin, you just need to chain up 3 stitches, turn your work around, skip this first space right here, do your double crochet in the back loop, and you do that all the way across until you get to the last chain 3 space here. Then you would put your last double crochet in the top of that chain, the top of the chain 3 space on this side. So keep going, and I'll come back to you when I'm halfway through to show you what my project looks like at that point. So don't give up, keep going across, and I'll see you on the other side. Okay, so I've gone ahead and finished up my scarf. It's halfway, it's halfway there. I ran out of thread, so I'm gonna have to tie on another ball of thread to continue. I could have stopped here if I wanted, but then my scarf would be way too small. I want it to be longer so that it can be wrapped around the neck a couple times. So this is where my thread ends, right there. So I'm gonna add another ball of thread to this. So all I do is just put the 2 ends together and tie a knot like this, and then I just continue working. So in case you run out of thread before you finish your project, that's all you need to do. Just tie a knot and keep working. Okay, so again, we're only working in the back loops. So you just work over the tail that you just did, just like this. And you just keep going. Okay, and then you might flip it over and you're like, oh, but there's this sticking out and it's so messy. What you do is make sure the knot is secure, and then you cut the thread right below the knot like that. And then you kind of just stretch it out and pull it back into place. So now the knot's there. I don't know if you can see it. It's right here, but blended in with all the thread, it's not very obvious. It's once it's tucked into the other stitches, you don't really notice it. Hey, where'd it go? Okay, so it's right there. If you're searching for it, you'll find it. But somebody else looking at it won't know it's there. Okay, so keep going with your scarf, and I'll show you what mine looks like when I'm completely finished. Okay, so I've come to the end of my scarf. I only have a couple more stitches to go to complete this. So I'm just gonna do these last 2 stitches into the last 2 stitches off the previous row, like so, and that completes the scarf. If you want to turn this into a circle scarf, all you would have to do is put the 2 ends together like this and sew them together on top of each other, on one side on top of the other, like this, to make your circle scarf. Or you can just single crochet both ends together. So you just go through the other side like this, and just like this, single crochet both sides together all the way down. But in case you don't want to go with a circle scarf and you're fine with the scarf being open, then what you do is just pull up your thread. Once you get to the end of that row, you pull up your thread, you cut your tail off, and then you pull it through like this to tighten. Now if you have a yarn needle, you string the needle and weave your end in. But if you don't, all you need to do is try to weave the end through with your crochet hook. Just weave it behind the threads like so. And keep going until you're satisfied. Okay, you can pull it all the way through, just weaving it under the back loops. Then you can tie it to secure it, and then you keep weaving it. And every so often you just make a little knot so it doesn't come undone. Okay, and then when you're satisfied, then you will just make a knot as tight as you can, and then cut the thread right above the knot like that, and that's it. Your scarf is complete. So I hope you enjoyed this tutorial and hope you got your scarf to turn out as nice as mine. Okay, so thank you for watching, and I'll see you in another video.